Hey, what's going on, guys? So welcome to another video of Ashley and Ken, but this time it is just Ken. So Ashley and I have been together for roughly 7.5 to 8 years, and we've been through it all, from living together to being apart, from going to different schools, going to the same schools, and just every problem you can see arise from somewhat of a long distance relationship and learning how to live together. As you know, relationships can be a very hard thing, and it takes a lot of love and sacrifice and compromise. But just from this experience with being with Ashley, it's been a very transformative experience. We've grown together, we've become more mature adults. So we thought it would be nice to just kind of share how we, at least from my perspective, from what I remember, because I believe she's doing the same video as well. It'd just be a good video for us to talk about how we met and how we got together, and basically the very beginning. Let's get started. I'm from Turlock. Turlock is in the Central Valley of California. Small town, very conservative, very agricultural based towns. And that's where I spent a majority of my high school years. I grew up in a small town, a very safe neighborhood. You could say I was pretty much sheltered throughout my high school years. I didn't have to deal with any problems. I was very fortunate in that regard. But going into college, I was very open-minded. You know, if I was going to find a girl of my life, girl of my dreams in the first year or the first month, then that's fine, you know, because if that happens, it happens. And if it's right, it's right. You find that one person that you can grow with, and you can grow together. That summer leading up to me going to college, we had a Facebook group because we were already assigned the dormitories that we were gonna live in. Our RA at the time, he created a Facebook group for us to all kind of just talk. We introduced ourselves and we all kind of just started to mingle and just, you know, kind of get to know each other, since we were gonna spend the whole school year together. And I remember just one specific moment where I didn't know anyone, but they were holding some kind of Zoom call, or I don't know, what did we used to use back then? Omegle? But some kind of video chat, and there's a bunch of people, and Ashley was there. So when I first saw Ashley, I thought she was this really Asian, like wasn't very American. She seemed like she was like the very traditional type of Chinese girl, but little did I know that I was completely wrong. I never grew up with anyone outside of white, Hispanic, maybe some black and Filipino. I was just trying to get to know people, you know, put myself out there. I really just wanted to be out of my comfort zone and just meet people. Fast forward, for the first week of college, they had a welcome week. In my family, they're all about spending time with each other. So I never got to spend time with all of my dorm mates and everyone I was gonna live with. I instead spent it with my family, going out, shopping, and doing whatever before I was gone for college. So I missed out on my initial mingling with my dorm mates, so I didn't meet a lot of people as soon as others did. But that's okay, because in my mind, I had the rest of the year to get to know everyone. So about a month's passed. I've kind of gotten to know a lot of the people that I was living with, including Ashley. She was in the same dorm, but in a different hall, if that makes sense. They were like right next to each other, but like it goes in opposite directions. So I've seen her around. We'd hang out in a common room, but we'd always be with a group of people. But I did notice her. I don't know what it was about her. She wasn't this Chinese girl that I thought she was. She was this normal California girl, LA girl. But I did notice her and I thought she was kind of pretty. And I kept my eye on her, but I never really tried to pursue her at first. Or I hate to say it that way, or my mom would say I didn't choose to court her. Yeah, she's pretty old-fashioned. So we would hang out in the common room all the time, and just over time, you know, we just started talking more. We would go to the dining halls and eat together, and you know, sometimes we would play games or play card games in other people's dorms, and that was kind of how we started spending time. But this wasn't like real one-on-one time. This was more just like group time and getting to know everyone. Fast forward to around Halloween time. I think Halloween was for me kind of the turning point. So we went trick-or-treating, haha, freshmen. I think Ashley was wearing her Mickey ears, and she was wearing like black tights and I think a red shirt. Oh, such a long time ago. My memory's kind of foggy, but we have old pictures. We took a picture that day. I looked like such a F-boy, but I was young and I was a bit skinnier too. After we went trick-or-treating, we were hanging out in the common room as usual, and I don't know what it was, but I noticed something about her. I couldn't really keep her out of my mind. Like, she was always there. Like, I would do things, but then like every time I would see her, I would pay attention to her. probably subconsciously and consciously at the same time, but I don't know what it was. From then on, like, I wanted to talk to this girl. I wanted to get to know her. Every night, we're all staying up late, we're all hanging out, talking. It would always be her and I at the end of the night, once everyone was gone, just talking and just like getting to know each other. And at times, we would even stay up to like 4 or 5 in the morning just talking. And we think about it now and we can't even remember what we were talking about, but it could have been anything, and that's kind of the beauty of it. So this went on for majority of the time at nighttime, and we just got closer and closer, and people, I think people started to notice, but we weren't anything official. But there was just something about this girl that, I don't know, she was just special. She was very special to me. At this point, we were pretty much inseparable, and we would spend 90% of our time together. When we weren't in class, we were probably together hanging out. When we weren't at the gym, we would even go to the gym together. We would basically do everything together, but we weren't together yet. It wasn't until about a month in where I was with a friend and I was talking to him and I was saying, you know, I think I like this girl, but I don't know if I want to be in a relationship right now. I was like getting into my own head about how, like, oh, you know, I just started college, you know, there's other people I need to meet. And he just flat out told me, like, go for it. Like, why not? You know, if things don't work out, things don't work out. And if things work out, then perfect. So I kind of already had my mindset on her, but him reassuring me like that kind of just made me go all in. I think it was that same night or probably the day after, I ended up going back to my friend's dorm, and then Ashley left with someone else. While I was with my friend hanging out, we ended up going back to the dorm where Ashley was, and they had all their beds laid out. They had basically a giant slumber party watching Forrest Gump, and Ashley was right in the middle of everything, and she even saved the spot for me. So I came back. I don't know what it was, but it felt like it was just her and I there, and like the room was packed, but it just felt like it was just us two. And at one point we got really close. Our faces were like right next to each other, and I kissed her for the first time. And that was like my first real kiss, and it was the most amazing thing in the entire world. Peace. I didn't give a care in the world with who was around me, because at that moment it was just her and I. It might have made people feel uncomfortable, probably like, oh, new couples, but we didn't care because it was us two, and it was honestly the most magical thing in my entire life. Oh, I almost forgot. So actually before we got together, we had a summer party in the common room. We all fell asleep in the common room. Everyone had their own bed except for me, because, oh look, Ashley was on my bed. She was on a bed, but there was a space. So I decided to lay down next to her, and you know, she took to it, and I put my hand around her, and we kind of snuggled for the first time. And we knew what we thought of each other. We never really labeled it officially as boyfriend and girlfriend. And then, you know, fast forward, we kissed on December 11th. I officially decided to ask her out. That's pretty much how we met. You know, it was a very fluid thing. It wasn't like any hardship, there wasn't any drama. It was a, hey, like, we started hanging out with each other. We got to know each other really well. We spent late nights together and just talked our asses off until sunrise, essentially. We flirted a lot until finally we kissed, and I decided to ask her out. We were madly in love. We were inseparable. We spent as much time together as we can. The more you stick around, the more you'll see us talk about stories of each other and the times we spent together. But we just kind of wanted to tell you about how we met and how we first started and how we were feeling when we first met. Some people meet and they were meant to be. Their stories deserve to be heard. You know, it's not just those hard stories that you see on TV about so-and-so dating around someone else and then taking up someone's girl, and then you go and you leave her, then you cheat on her. Like, no, it's not always like that. True love does exist. Okay, so that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We are trying to post more. I started my job last week, so you might see a lot of Ashley with like a little bit of me sprinkled in. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you again. All right.